Travel was mandatory for this gig, and not by my editor's choice. Turns out he didn't pluck this concept from his brain or borrow it from a competitor. This piece is by request. The mayor of Screaming Woods reached out to the magazine looking for some positive spin on the town, in return for what will undoubtedly be extremely clickable content. Now that Screaming Woods' 2 decades-long secret is out in the open, they'd rather not have visitors armed with wooden stakes, silver bullets, and pitchforks. They want the world to understand that monsters are people too. That's the story. Certainly not one I ever imagined writing, but when the universe drops gold in your lap, you grab that nugget and run to the bank with it. Or take a 2-hour flight followed by an ass-numbing drive with it, in this case. But I'm here now, ready to spin Screaming Woods monsters into my personal gold. The town unfolds around me as I drive. At a glance, there's nothing unusual. Same blue sky, white clouds, green grass you'd find pretty much anywhere. The trees, buildings, cars, everything's normal. Until I spot my first monster. At least 7 feet tall with dark fur, he has insanely broad shoulders, glowing red eyes, and a set of horns that make even the biggest elk jealous. The man, I should call him a man, right, is walking his dog. A small, fluffy dog with a yellow bow wrapped around a tiny ponytail atop its head. Talk about opposites. The monster man must feel me gawking because he turns his head at the exact moment I pass. Meeting my gaze, he smiles. At least I think that's a smile, though the rows of jagged teeth are menacing, and raises one hand to wave. Okie dokie, shit is officially real. I quickly return the gesture before focusing on the road ahead. When I accepted this assignment, I had to sign a contract stating I understand that all the town's monsters were once human, and therefore will be treated as such. No problem there. Journalists don't have bias. Not the good ones, anyway, and I'm great at my job. Besides, I've never been afraid of monsters. Not in books, TV, or movies. I'm the perfect candidate for this opportunity, aside from the leaving my apartment and having face-to-face interactions part. By the time I arrive at the small motel where the town's administration has reserved me a room, I've seen monsters with horns, wings, fur, tails, and hooves. They didn't all randomly wave at me like the first one, but aside from their appearances, they seemed like normal people going about their lives. Zero scariness factor. I understand the mayor's concerns for the reputation and safety of Screaming Woods and its citizens, but I can't imagine anyone being fearful here. Any niggling concerns I had when I committed to delivering a positive article are gone. This piece is practically going to write itself. I park my rental car, collect my bags from the trunk, then head into the main office of the cheery, charming building. The front desk is vacant. Or is it? One of the monsters I'm scheduled to interview is an invisible man who owns a coffee shop downtown. But maybe he's not the only one. Hello? I ask, shaking my head when silence ensues. Of course nobody answers, because I'm alone in the room. An invisible man would have greeted me when I walked in, obviously. Plus, I'd see his clothes. In town less than 5 minutes, and already my mind is in monster overdrive. I step to the counter and tap the classic silver bell sitting on the desk, then pull out my phone to appear busy and nonchalant. Eager as I am to get settled in, I don't want to seem pushy or impatient. Peopling isn't my strong suit, even in familiar situations.